Mic on. Mic off. name is Richard Glisson. I'll be your host this evening. Today we're going to talk about the Casas per Cristo trip that Anthem Church is taking in October 2018.
This is Thiago Basler. I'm here with Richard as well. Basically, this year we're going to be going to Juarez, October 16th through the 20th.
And once we get into Mexico, we'll be staying at one of the local churches there. Some of the items you would like to bring, of course, your Bible, flip-flops, shower shoes, bedding material, towels, soap, shampoo, and other toiletries, and some specialty items if you need them, earplugs, flashlights, wet wipes, just anything you might think of that you will need. It's kind of like camping. So
this is the kitchen area, breakfast area that we had during our first trip that we took 2 years ago. Basically, this is a kitchen, basic kitchen where we prepared dinner and also ate breakfast. And it's kind of a typical kitchen there in that churches.
This is one of the gathering tables we have, or dining tables. We play games here, we eat here, we fellowship here.
This is one of the rooms that was available at the church that they stayed at last year. Some will have bunk beds, some won't. But usually what we do is we take a cot, or you can also take an air mattress, bring a pillow and blankets. That way you will have a nice area to sleep in and get some rest.
After our first day of rest, we wake up and it is concrete day, the first day of building. This is one of our toughest build days. It's also one of the most fun build days. Of course, we're going to need some tools to get us going. Some of those tools that we would like for you to bring, of course, a tool belt, work gloves, protective eyewear, long work pants. They will not allow capri pants or shorts on the job site, so make sure we have long work pants. Work shirts, closed-toe shoes or boots, a hat, a bandana, something to keep you out of the sun, a water container. We will have water there on site in a large 10-gallon water tank, but something to put it into. Sunblock, chapstick, of course, a hammer, pencil, tape measure, utility knife. And of course, if you don't have all of these, there's going to be plenty there. But the more that we can have brought, the more we can share and get use out of those tools. You can also bring some knee pads, rubber gloves, and dust masks if that suits you.
So this is a typical first day. This is probably towards the middle of the first day. You can kind of see we framed up the foundation and we poured the concrete, and basically now we're kind of leveling off the concrete. So usually on the first day what we do is we dig the foundation to set up for the concrete. We pour the concrete, we'll level it off, and we also cut the wood to make the frames. So we're doing a lot of the setup. So usually the first day you're going to end up with just a flat slab of concrete. It doesn't look like we did much, but you did a lot of preparation for the next day. And then after we pour the concrete, we kind of have to shave the concrete or make it level, make it nice and smooth. And this is probably a pretty tough job, but it's a pretty good one. And then towards the very end of the day, Jake, our worker from Casas per Cristo, will go on there and he'll kind of smooth out the concrete so it can cure, and then we let it sit overnight so we'll have we can actually start walking on it the next day to start putting up the walls and building. So this is the typical first day.
Also, during the first day, everybody has a chance to get their hands dirty on the concrete, I promise you. This is just some of the typical work that you're going to see on concrete day. And this is, of course, what you'll see at the end of the first day is a concrete slab. On day 3, this is the day that it starts looking like a house. This is the second day of the build, but the third day of the trip. These framed walls you see leaning up against the concrete wall there, these were done day one. At this point, we start putting the walls together, and again, it starts looking like a house. It looks like you're accomplishing something on day two of the build, and you can see it takes every hand at this point to get this going.
And so after we put up all the walls, everybody starts pitching in and start putting the sheathing up. And so it kind of you start building on the outside of the wall. And so usually on the second day, we put up all the walls. We put, and then we kind of prepare the house for the outside stucco that's going to be going on there. So we also put the chicken wire there towards the end. And the chicken wire is kind of fun and interesting because you have to really make it stretch and tight, so the stucco kind of glues on there. So this is going to be probably the typical house at the end of the second day. We have most of it, I guess 2/3 of it done, but you can actually see where the walls are going to be and where it's going to look like. And so the third day, you would just kind of add more to it.
Now on the last build day, the fourth day of the trip, this is when we put in on the finishing touches and do the dedication of the home. Again, this is where we start doing the stucco. You can see a close-up picture now of the chicken wire that was put on the day before. But you spread the mud on or the stucco on, and then it starts looking like a house even more as the drywall goes up on the inside. So as a crew's outside doing stucco, there's a crew inside doing drywall. And the insulation as well. That is a sticky job. And then you can see here, we start to look like a house. This is getting towards the end of the day, on the last build day.
So this is the dedication ceremony. This is the couple that we built for the first year. I believe this gentleman was in his 90s, and so we started putting up the very last sign on the house, which means, hey, the house is finished. And the owner, or that gentleman, he was able to kind of nail that last nail into the house, completing the house. And so on the very last day, towards the end of the day, we let them put that plaque on the house, and we just dedicate the house with them and take a picture. And we also present them with a housewarming gift of a Bible, and we present them with their the keys to their house. And this is the second family that we built for last year. It's a single mom, and she had 4 kids. So typical family that we go down there and build for at Casas for Cristo.
This is the final product of the home we did last year. You can see it's still drying. This was right before we presented the house. I mean, this is how quick we put these up and turn these over to the family. This was the young boy from last year. He was so excited to be able to sleep in his own home that night. He hadn't had a home since then. This was the crew that we had last year. We had a small crew, but it was a very good crew. I really enjoyed working with all of these people here.
And this is a picture of the team that we had 2 years ago. We had a group of 11, but we also had a very active group of church members. There was a church 2 houses or 3 houses down from us, and they were really, really supportive of us. They actually came over every day for lunch, and they cooked us lunch, which was really nice. So you may or may not have that depending on kind of where you serve that year.
We're going to play a short video for you real quick, and then we're going to get into some frequently asked questions. Okay, we're back. So, into frequently asked questions. So, first one, how much does the trip cost? The trip is $575. And to get signed up initially, there's a $50 deposit that goes towards the $575.
All right. Usually, what type of food do we eat? Usually for breakfast, it's cereal, and then we usually kind of prepare our meals. We kind of bring our own lunches. We may or may not have lunch provided for us from the church family that we're going to be serving. And then we usually eat dinner there at the church or the facility where we're going to be staying. Typical food that we normally eat, we may bring all of our food that we need as well too. We usually do. And so it's going to be the typical food that we eat here in the States.
Where do you sleep? Well, we kind of covered that. You need to bring your own bedding. We will sleep in a local church in Juarez, Mexico. So once we cross the border, we stay across the border. So we sleep over there. We need to bring our own bedding. Bring something that's going to be comfortable because you're going to be working hard. And now we're going to talk about what should I not bring. So let's talk about that real quick. I'll bring up some notes here real quick. Wrong note page. Where did it go? There we go. Here's our notes. So we're going to talk about what not to bring. Things not to bring: tank tops, sleeveless shirts, torn pants. We cannot have anything with high amperage, hair dryers, curling irons, hair straighteners, no heaters. We can't plug those in. We blow circuits. No short shorts, cheerleading running shorts, and no tight fitting clothing like yoga pants or spandex. Things that the U.S. Customs will not let you bring over. Fruits and vegetables and meats, fireworks, narcotics, drugs, merchandise made from endangered species, live birds, switchblade knives, and really just you don't want to bring anything back that would tarnish the name of the group or Anthem Church. So, we have a special guest just stepped in. Let's go back to our questions here. Do you need a passport? Yes, you will need a passport to go on the trip.
Can we bring gifts for the family receiving the house? And Casas por Cristo has made a kind of a outline or a list of things that we can get for the family, and that's something that we kind of choose as a group. But some of the suggested gifts are a box fan or rugs, curtains, curtain rods, and that's something we can decide as a group what we should or want get the family member of this new house that we're going to be giving them. And this is just kind of a list kind of talking about some of the gift ideas that Casas por Cristo has given us. Yeah,
and this list will stay up on our Facebook page, so you can come back to these at any time. All of this is underneath our Facebook page, underneath the notes section. We'll go back over here. So we're going to talk about how old you need to be to go on the trip. And our rule this year is going to be if you're 18 and over, of course you can go. If you're 17 or under, a minor, we need a parent or guardian to accompany you. Lastly, how do you sign up for the trip? So to sign up for the trip, you're going to go back to our Facebook page. You're going to go over to the event tab. Find the October 16th Casas por Cristo 2018 tab. Click on it. Go down to where it says tickets. And click on find tickets. This is going to take you to Anthem's church website. You can fill out your information here. and also pay for your deposit. You can also pay for the trip in full, or you can pay for any price in between that. But this is where you're going to go to officially get signed up for the trip. Also, once you get signed up here, to make additional payments, you would need to contact myself, Richard Glisson. My contact information is on the website, the Facebook page, and those payments will be made through Anthem Church. And then I'll be marking those down to make sure that they're accounted for. So that is all we have for the time being. We're going to play a short video on the way out, and that is all we have for you. Thank you so much.